If you are familiar with indices, you would know this simple fact that 16 is the same as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That is 2 multiplied by itself 4 times. We already have lessons on indices, so you can check them out. And instead of writing 2 multiplied by itself 4 times, which stands for 16, we would prefer to write it as 2 to the power 4 equals 16. So 2 raised to the power of 4 equals 16 is the same as 2 multiplied by itself 4 times gives us 16. This looks very familiar. What about instead of writing 2 to the power 4 equals 16, you were actually given 2 to the power x equals 16. 2 to the power x. And then you'll be asked to find what x stood for. So what exactly is x? If you had watched our lessons on indicial equations, then you would know what to do. But in situations like this, instead of using indicial equations, another method that can also be used is logarithm. So logarithm is more like the reverse of indices. So logarithm helps us to know what power a certain base is to be raised to give us a certain result. So for example, with the help of logarithm, we can find the value for x. Or in other words, logarithm gives us an alternative way of writing this initial equation, which is 2 to the power 4 equals 16. This is what I mean. You see 2 to the power 4 equals 16. It can also be written as log to base 2 of 16 equals 4. Log to base 2 of 16 equals 4. Take note of how I read it. Log to base 2 of 16 is equal to 4. So if you compare the way I've expressed this in terms of logarithm to the initial equation, you can tell that the 2, which is the base of the log, is the base in the indices, which is 2. Then the 16 is the result, and then the 4 is the exponent. Basically, that's what it means. So log to base 2 of 16 equals 4, meaning 2 must be raised to the power of 4 to give us 16. So logarithm and indices are very much related. What that means is this 2 to the power x equals 16 can also be written as log to base 2 of 16 equal x. So what is x? So these two expressions are basically the same. So we are going to pick some examples and see how basic understanding of logarithm and indices can actually help us. So let's pick some quick examples. Our first example, that is log to base 3 of 81. Log to base 3 of 81. So this is how the question will be given to you. Log to base 3 of 81. And then you have to find the answer. Well, we first of all should look at the result. The result in log to base 3 of 81 means what number or 3 should be raised to what power to give us 81. But before we solve this logarithm question, we already know that 81 is the same as 3 to the power 4. 81 is already known to us that 81 is the same as 3 to the power 4 because 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 gives us 81. So that means log to base 3 of 81 is equal to 4. This is what it means. The 3, which is the base of the log, exponent 4 is equal to 81. So you see the connection? 3 exponent 4 is equal to 81. Our next example, log to base 5 of 125. So the first thing you should know or understand is this question is just asking you 5, which is the base of the log, should be raised to what power to give you 125. That's what the question is asking you to do. So 5 should be raised to what power to give 125. But a common knowledge to us is that 5 to the power 3 is 125. Or 125 is the same as 5 times 5 times 5. That means 5 multiplied by itself 3 times to give you 125. So 5 to the power 3 is 125, which means log base 5 of 125 is equal to 3. To visualize this basically means that this 5, which is the base of the log, exponent 3 is equal to 125. Basically, that's it. So you can see the big connection and relationship between logarithm and what? Indices. So this is a key idea to remember, a very important idea to remember as far as logarithm and indices is concerned. So logarithm answers the question, what power produces this number? So if I give you a question or you need this question in exam, for example, log base 3 of 81 equal what? Simple. It means the base, which is the 3, exponent what power will give you 81. And log base 5 of 125 equal what? It means 5 to what power will give you 125. I hope you got the point. If you actually enjoy this lesson, then I'm sure you would be interested in knowing the various laws of indices. And that will be what you'll be doing next. So if you enjoyed this lesson, give it a thumbs up, share it with other students you know will benefit from lessons like this. Subscribe to the channel. This gives us an indication that you enjoy lessons like this. So see you in our next lesson. But before you go, have you subscribed? If you haven't subscribed, then quickly do it before we end the lesson. I'm waiting for you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Just do it before I continue. Yes, yeah, I'm sure you are done now. So see you in our next lesson.